An interesting way to look at the effects of a loose connector is by using a QAM analyzer in a standard television set. We've got that here. I've got a clear QAM channel coming into this cable on this side, and on the other side of this array of connections, we hit a splitter, and one side of the splitter goes to my QAM analyzer, and the other goes to this television setup here. What we can see is that if I loosen a connector, this particular industry connector, we see that it goes bad immediately. We've lost our QAM constellation, and we've lost the picture. Probably if I move it around or hold it just right, we might be able to get these things back in. But at this connector, it doesn't want it. So I'm just going to tighten it back up, and we'll move on to the next connector. This is a connector by a same industry manufacturer. I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit, and we see immediately we get some pixelization. We get the QAM constellation all over the place. This is what's going to happen at a customer's house when they have a loose connection. Here's a PPC connector. We loosen this up, we can see the same effects. We lose our video, our QAM constellation goes away. We can put some side load on this thing and we can stabilize it. We can get a picture to come back in. But if it's just sitting behind the television, it's liable to go blank. So tighten that back up. Let the picture come back, and we can see that everything's solid right now. It's all finger tight. I'm going to skip over the signal tight connector right now, hit another industry connector, and we see as soon as I loosen it up, we begin to lose the video, and the constellation becomes erratic. Tightening that back up, we'll move on to another industry connector. This one is said to be a locking connector. I'm going to loosen that up a little bit, and immediately we see pixelizing video, and we see the QAM constellation just going all over the place. And that's only barely loosened up. I'm going to tighten these all back up. And I'm going to loosen our signal tight connector. And what we see, as soon as I begin to loosen it, everything is still solid. But what I really want to do here is really loosen it. I'll loosen it even some more. This connector is almost falling off of this port, and we still see that it's rock solid in the QAM constellation and rock solid on the subscriber's television. In fact, we don't lose our picture until we actually disconnect right there. As long as we've got one thread on with our signal tight connector, we've got a good strong signal getting through and clear QAM constellation. Let me do that again. We're going to start at this end. We'll loosen this up a little bit, and we can immediately see erratic QAM, and we can see pixelizing in the video often. Tighten him back up. Loosen the next one. Immediately goes to failure. Go to our EX connector, and we can immediately go to failure on that. We see the QAM constellation go bad. Another manufacturer's connector. Let's let the video come back first. There it is. Another manufacturer's connector go loose. I see the pixelizing happening, and we see the constellation being very erratic. And the last industry connector immediately goes bad. And we go back to the PPC signal tight connector. Loosen it, loosen it. Not just loosen it, I'm going to nearly unscrew it. A little bit more even. And no matter how I wiggle it, push it, pull it, I can't muck up the QAM constellation or the video.